Hey Scorpios, welcome to your reading for April. Let's jump in and see what April has in store for you guys. Messages for Scorpio for April. I hope you all are doing well. Okay, I have celebration and soul group. Take time out to celebrate, and you are getting ready to unite with members of your soul family. Okay, this is really good. So you might be celebrating a time where you've been, kind of actively hoping for and seeking out a tribe that has your same desires, interests, and hobbies, whatever it may be. It looks like you are finally getting to a place where you are finding your vibe with your tribe, Scorpios, which is a really good energy. So whether this is just kind of something that is barely starting and to take place, or maybe this will just kind of unravel as April, continues on further into, the month of April. It doesn't matter, but it shows here that, either way, keep your eyes and your ears and your heart open for possible, tribe people to come your way. And, maybe don't, box yourself into thinking what it might be. Okay. So sometimes even a furry friend is part of our tribe, and we welcome them in, and they can bring great comfort to us. So maybe you're adopting a new pet. Maybe you are, starting to join other groups that maybe have the same activities. Maybe you've joined an adult, softball team or basketball team, and now you are really starting to find your people and find your place. And if this isn't already happening, Scorpio, it seems like the energies are conducive to it, being that it will soon play out that way for you. Okay, so keep your hopes up. Let's take a look. Messages for Scorpio for the month of April, please. Messages for Scorpio, please. I have love and I have hurt. Okay, so, this may be a time where, in the past, maybe you had to, move yourself away from some friendships, some people, and maybe even a job, where things just weren't feeling so good. Maybe, it once was a time of love and happiness and joy that you all brought to each other. But, maybe now there is a feeling of hurt because those things either fell away or they're needing to fall away. And there may be a little bit of an emptiness and a little sadness in you, Scorpios, and feeling a little bit lonely. But again, this energy here that's coming out here for the month of April is just saying that you really are aligning with a new vibrational level of friends and experiences that are going to come in and take the place of anything that has left your realm already. Okay, so take heart. I have summer solstice radiance. Okay, so this is the sun coming out here, Scorpio, and this is saying that things are going to get brighter in your world. Maybe they're looking, a little bit slow, stagnant. Maybe they're not, as hopeful and bright as you hope that they would be. But take note here that, the energies are shifting and changing here in the month of April. And anything or anyone that has left your life at this time that has left you feeling, once loved, but now hurt and pain is going to be turning in a positive direction where you're now going to align with people, places, and situations that are more in alignment with where it is you want to go in life and what you find joy in doing. Okay. So sometimes people are in our life for a reason, a season, or a time, Scorpio. And so this may be one of those situations. This could have to do with maybe one relationship, or it could have to do with maybe a very significant number of relationships in your life that were, a bit uncomfortable to even have, fall away like that, and can leave you in a place of feeling very sad. I have impasse here. Reflect and redirect your energy. So again, you can either, choose to focus on, the downside to this energy and these situations leaving your life, and kind of just be in a negative mindset and a negative space and see the cup as half empty versus half full, Scorpios. Or you can take a minute to say, what, this is just a little bit of a bump in the road. This is just a little bit of a challenge, but I'm up to this challenge because what leaves my life makes room for something better. It's kind of like the equivalent of cleaning out your closet. You may think that you're going to wear all those clothes, those shoes, those belts, those purses, those whatever you got in there. But the reality is that, it's not until you go into that closet and you start being like, I don't really like this anymore. This really isn't my style. Oh, this doesn't fit. And you start kind of ridding yourself of things that just no longer align with where you're at now, regardless of the reason why. And then it leaves room for something new to come in. So now maybe your style has changed. Maybe your weight has changed and you've lost weight and got fit. Whatever it may be, you now have room in that closet for something new to come in that is in alignment with where you're at currently. Okay. So this is the positive side of things and where maybe your mindset and your energy needs to be focused, not necessarily seeing this as a wall and feeling stuck with nowhere to go and no solution, but seeing it as an opportunity instead, okay? Let's take a look at the overall energy for you for the month of April, Scorpio. Overall energy. All right, I have the Eight of Pentacles. And I have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so here in the recent past, or actually, I'm sorry, this is the overall energy, pardon me. But in the overall energy here, you have a really good energy that's conducive to you doing well. So what this usually is with the Eight of Pentacles and then going into the Nine of Pentacles is that you actually have kind of emerged into a whole new energetic frequency. And this likely could be something to do with work or some kind of significant accomplishment that you've had. Maybe you went to school and are finally graduating with a degree. So now you don't have to just work a job that you can kind of work around and go to school at the same time. Now you're able to apply that degree into the career that you were hoping to enter into and have been working so hard for. And so now you're going to gain a sense of newfound independence and financial security and stability and within you. So the overall energies here are looking really, really good. Again, it's that mindset of whatever's leaving your life is let it go and allow it to go with love and light and gratitude and grace, and then make room for the next and start to get excited about those new things that are coming your way. Let's take a look at the recent past, Scorpio. Recent past, please, for Scorpio. I have the Three of Pentacles and I have the Three of Swords. Okay, so it looks like, things that you tried to kind of, work together on, you tried to work things out with people or situations. Maybe it was a job. You tried to put forth effort, be a good team player, put time and energy into creating something or making a difference. It seems like, you've experienced a lot of hurt and pain in those experiences, and they didn't exactly turn out the way that you would hope that they would. Sometimes when we're doing partnerships, whether it's friendships or work partnerships, and we have coworkers or relatives or friends, we are putting in a lot of time and energy, and we kind of hope that, people will do the same. Maybe we've been very uplifting and supportive of our friends, moving on in their careers and their lives or their relationships or families. And we've been very supportive in giving them our time and energy, but maybe they haven't exactly given back the same. And it's left you feeling a little bit down and out and a little bit, heartbroken over these scenarios, which leaves you feeling a bit sad. Okay. And you're a bit hurt by these scenarios, which is understandable. Okay. But again, it's time to kind of shift that mindset into a positive way. And I know that can sound very corny and, like everybody says that, take a positive mindset, but it's very true. Wherever we put our focus on, wherever we put our energy into, and whatever we really think about a lot is where our manifestations come from. So if you're manifesting from a place of hurt and pain and loss and feeling lack, that's what you're going to continue to produce. Okay. So the reason why it's important to shift that mindset into a positive way is so that you can continue down a path of creating happiness for you, regardless of the situations from the past, as disappointing as they may have been. Okay. Let's take a look at the present energy, Scorpio. Present for Scorpio for April. All right, I have the Six of Wands. So this is victory. This is saying that whatever it was that you were struggling with before, that you were feeling very hurt about, that maybe you had put in that time and energy into that left you feeling a bit disappointed or hurt or sad, it sounds like things are really picking up for you, okay? So with the Six of Wands here, it's saying, again, you can have that positive attitude in regards to this scenario. Instead of feeling like, you lost out, you can feel like you gained and won, and that you're moving forward in life, because it's kind of like an indication of, making a progression. So whatever you've left behind is at a vibration that just no longer, aligns with you. So it shows that you've put in a lot of time and energy and work into yourself or whatever this situation is, and now you're leveling up. Okay. So you need to look at it from a positive perspective of this is a really good thing. And this is indicative of you having, made a lot of progress. So let's take a look at the near future for you, Scorpio. Near future, please. I have the Two of Swords here coming in the near future. Okay, Scorpio. So this is telling me here that this is just kind of like, being intuitively guided about what's happening here. So you may get caught up in a little bit of your mindset. You may be thinking negative things about what's played out and wondering if anything good is going to happen, or maybe thinking negatively about the future and, who may come, or maybe no one will come at all. And now you're feeling, hopeless and alone. But this is saying here in the near future that if you tap into that energy, that intuitive side of yourself, and you kind of block yourself off from things that just don't feel good for you, you're going to kind of get a bit more clarity on why these things happened and what was really happening for you instead of against you. Okay. Let's take a look at some advice for you, Scorpio. Advice for the month of April. I have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so this being in your advice, Scorpio, is telling me here is that you need to make sure that you're taking intuitive action, okay? That you're not just being in a reactive kind of energy, okay? So it's kind of easy that when we're dealing with challenging people or challenging situations, or we've been very hurt and let down in the past and other experiences, to just kind of have that outlook of like, well, why bother? Why do I even bother with this? Or you're just kind of doing a reactive behavior where you're starting to get a little bit upset about what's taken place. And all you can constantly think about is being upset about it. And so it gets you in this little bit of an energy that can be a little bit sharp toward others. Maybe you're speaking negatively, maybe you're thinking negatively, maybe you're acting negatively, whatever it is. The advice here, Scorpio, is just saying, hey, make sure that you're mindful of your energy and the fact that you're not being too sharp and quick with others. Just because you've been hurt before in the past doesn't mean that the people that are still currently there or in the future is it going to do the same thing to you. Okay. Let's take a look at what's hidden here, Scorpio, in case there's something that you're not seeing or may prove helpful for you. What's hidden? I have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so what's hidden here is there's a lesson hidden behind this, which honestly is usually a part of anything that we do, especially when we've separated from situations, they've fallen away, or relationships, or people, or family, or friends. And so what this is it's just saying that you're learning that there is a lesson, inside of this whole scenario that's left you feeling a little bit down and out. Okay, so within this is a little bit of a gem so that you can then learn in the future not only something about yourself, but you've learned something about others too. And then you'll be able to take that wisdom and use it for new friendships and new relationships and new people of your tribe. Okay. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming for the month of April, Scorpio. What does Scorpio not see coming in the month of April? All right, I have the Nine of Swords and I have the Page of Swords. Okay, so this is saying that what you don't see coming in the month of April is that whatever your anxieties and fears have come to be, whatever you think is actually happening, whatever conclusions you've been drawing in regards to this situation and scenario, or that have just left you kind of feeling this way and feeling a little bit riddled with anxiety and, stressed out about this situation that's taken place. Maybe you've received messages, or maybe you, are just starting to get a clarity on how this is negatively affecting you, and that you understand that it's just time to kind of move on. It's time to forgive and let go. And it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily forgive the people or the situations person to person, face to face. What it does mean, though, is that you can find forgiveness for them or those situations in your heart, in your mind, in your body, in your soul, and you can choose to release them for your own healing and your own benefit and your own positive movement forward toward better things. Okay. So what this tells me is that what you don't see coming in the month of April is that you're going to be able to gain some clarity on this situation, and it will help ease some of those anxious fears that you're having. Okay. Here on the bottom of the deck, I have the Three of Cups again. So this is indicative of new soulmates, new friends, new tribe people, new jobs, new whatever it is coming in that will be significant to you, and it will be more in alignment with what it is that you're hoping to do and hoping to experience and hoping to achieve in this lifetime. So, Scorpio, I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And until I see you again, take care.